Hello and welcome to Bridgecast. We're super happy that you guys are here and joining us. As you can see, we have a little bit different of a setup. Hopefully this will be our setup going for the next couple of weeks. We are joined by some wonderful people who have all been a part of our exchange program. In the upper left, we have Cliff Birkland. In the upper left-hand corner, we have Malory, and then in the bottom we have Alex. So the five of us today, I'm joined with Josephine, our Director of Development. We are going to sort of talk about our exchange program experience and then also how COVID-19 has been affecting both of our communities, both in St. Louis and Dupree. But before we do that, we'd like to touch a little bit on our raffle.
Yes, so our raffle was really successful this last week. Thank you to everybody that entered for a print of Sophia's painting. Really beautiful painting. We had a good turnout, and I have the names here in a hat. I'm going to let Josh draw our winner. I'm going to do a drum roll or anything, I don't know. Thank you.
All right. The winner is Tara Baldridge.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating, Tara. We will be in contact with you via email to get you that print sent in the mail.
Yes.
Yes. And then to announce our raffle for this week, a different change of direction. We were really grateful to have Waterway Car Wash and Gas Station donate a gift certificate for a 3-month-long Blue Level Clean Car Club membership. So once again, a 3-month-long Blue Level Clean Car Club membership. That's a tongue twister. It includes unlimited car washes, discounts on car wash upgrades, and savings even on every gallon of gas. So really good deal. Can be used at what it looks like pretty much any waterway around St. Louis, Kansas City, even some in Denver, Cleveland, and Chicago. So any of our friends around the states. Right here, we will email it to you. I know, so just enter through that same link. It should be linked through this description, and then also on our website, our Facebook, and our Instagram. Only $5 per entry. Again, you can enter how many times you want, however many times you want, and the value is $117. So 3 months, free car washes, discounts on gas. You can't go wrong. So enter only $5 for your chance to win it.
Yes, it will be $5 a ticket, and where you can find that at is at our website, www.bridgebuildersstl.org. I cannot emphasize how important it is that you all participate in these raffles. These raffles, all the funds raised from the raffles will go directly to support our exchange programs through Bridge Builders. A quick update on the St. Louis Dupree Exchange program. We were going to have that scheduled for June 30th to July 14th of 2020. We, due to COVID-19, are going to have to postpone our exchange program until 2021. However, the good news with that is that we have extended all the acceptance for all of our exchange team members that were accepted for this year into next year. So hopefully our team makeup won't change very much. The 3 that you see here on the screen are planning on going on that exchange program, and hopefully they'll be able to join us again next year for the exchange program.
So participate in the raffles, and hopefully we can get these guys here and the rest of us up there again.
Yes, we can't normally do our normal fundraising because of the lack of community organizing and the practices of social distancing. So we're really trying our best and pushing hard to make sure that we can still raise our normal funds to require little to no funding from the exchange team members to actually go in the program. So again, it is so important that you all support Bridge Builders through this raffle and through other ways that we can present.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, now on to the reason that you're here, hopefully.
Yeah, we can start out a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit less and allow these and find people to communicate a little bit why they're here. Let's start with you, Cliff. Let's do a quick introduction in the best way that you would like to introduce yourself. Then we'll go to Malory, then Alex.
Well, other than my name, I'm Cliff Birkland. I am a resident in Dupree, South Dakota on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation. I'm currently a senior, going through all the fun stuff of quarantine, social distancing, and all that. And I'm currently 17, getting ready for college and finishing up classes currently.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mallory? Yeah.
Okay. I'm Malory Peacock. I am 16, just about to be 17 one month. And I live, good old Dupree, South Dakota on the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Reservation as well. And I currently attend Dupree High School, online style. So.
Sick. Alex?
And also, Mallory and I, during the summer and during our school years, or during the school year, we both work as YMCA counselors for our Sioux YMCA.
Wonderful.
Yes, and the Sioux Y, for those of you who don't know, are one of our biggest partners in Dupree. That's actually one of the main reasons we're able to have the exchange program. So we're always very glad to see more employees of the Y.
Well, I guess my turn. I'm Alex Hercules. I'm the community engagement specialist, as most of you guys know. I'm at Afton High School. I plan on attending Webster University next year, and
Yeah. One of the reasons that I think it's very important that we have all of us here on one Bridgecast is because all 5 of us were actually on the exchange program last year in 2019. So we can hopefully share a little bit of experience about what the exchange program is like and the importance of it. But let's first talk a little bit about how COVID-19 affects communities in different ways. I'm going to pass it over to Alex for our first question.
So during this time of pandemic, what are some procedures and precautions being taken in your guys' community?
So one thing that Dupree specifically, and also Eagle Butte, so the reservation in general has started to implement are community-based store limits. And so when you're going to the grocery store, gas stations, any kind of business that remains open, the essential businesses that we still have, there's a limit of 10 people, and there are security guards outside where, they encourage you to wear a mask or just limit to 10. So you'll wait outside until somebody else is finished up. And our communities they're stepping it up this Friday. So after this Friday, the 24th, they are making so you have to have pre-organized documentation as to where and why you are leaving the reservation, and you have to have the same documentation to get back on. You have to live here to get back on the reservation. So.
A few other things, alongside with the store changes with distancing and only having a maximum capacity of 10, you're only limited to a range from $150 to $200 worth of grocery items. If you take more than one thing at a time, say I take 2 cartons of eggs, that's not allowed. You're only allowed once, or 1 carton of eggs. And another thing that's implemented, that's a thing, you have a curfew of 8 o'clock. If you're not if you don't meet the curfew, say you're out at 9, then you'll get a student shuttle by our tribal laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it. It's definitely, we can see how it's affecting Dupree and on the reservation there differently. How are you guys holding up through it? I mean, individually, I know it's tough. We're all rooting for you. I know it's tough with high school closures, and especially with Cliff with graduation, and Mal, you guys not being able to see your friends. How are you holding up through it?
So with all of these things, obviously complicating a lot of high schoolers and college people's lives, of course adults as well, losing their jobs in this whole situation. One thing that, individually has been a thing in my life, I made all these plans for the summer. I had all my classes planned out, all of my plans, where I was going to go, what I was going to do, and weddings and stuff in the family, and all of them has been canceled, postponed, refunded, so even without those things, I typically have a summer job, and it's been really hard to find job applications and try to get knowledge of places that will be open during the summer, because, nobody knows if they're even hiring, because they don't know if they'll be allowed to be open and have employees.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big uncertainty with all of the already existing employment is future employment and worrying about that kind of thing.
Right.
I think something that's really thrown me off personally, the whole existence of time management. Like, we had a lifestyle, and it might be different for some people, but like we had a lifestyle where we go to work, go to school, do anything. You're kind of assigned to like times and stuff. And ever since quarantine, it's kind of shifted because now you have to like do assignments or do work from home at specific times. You don't know when things are going to come, whenever things are going to come around. It's just kind of a game of you know what, or what might come next. And that applies to like everything that's happening with the quarantine. Like, you don't know what's going to be the next procedure or how serious it's going to get further on. So it's rough, but like it sets up a new challenge to like modify yourself and overcome to better your own management and make you better despite what's going on.
Right.
Another thing I wanted to add, I guess. So, I mean, obviously we're all getting through it, but it is a very scary time. Just the whole concept, everybody's subconsciously scared if they, you know, are wise about the whole coronavirus pandemic going on. And I think due to that, one thing I'm kind of passionate about going on right now, more of a mental health crisis is happening. Like, the people who kind of rely on seeing their friends, the people who rely on having things to look forward to during the day and during the year, that's been, you know, wiped out. And they're having a hard time trying to stay positive. So, you know, they always want to look forward to an end of things. And it's coming, but it's hard to see right now. So it's just staying positive because everybody is scared. And with a few of the different implementations of the tribe, you know, they have said, if you're not following the precautions told, you know, of you to follow, that you will be made to follow them. And if you come back from somewhere that's not the reservation, you will be forced to stay home for 2 weeks. And if you don't, you're going to be taken to a tribal-run facility, and they'll keep you there for 2 weeks. So it's just a scary time, you know, wondering when this is going to happen, if, you know, when a case is going to pop up. So...
Yeah, having concerns just for family and friends, that's a great thing, because especially like when you have family members or like friends in your community that have like serious health problems like beyond like this whole COVID-19 situation, like they have like bad lungs or bad asthma, and just with this whole thing it causes like a new stress of like making sure you don't go near them or making sure they're practicing social distancing and making sure that they like sustain a healthy lifestyle despite everything.
Right.
Thank you both for sharing.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad that
Thank
you're able to find little pieces of light and good things out of this all, but keep holding on. You're braving it out really well.
Yeah, I really felt that at the end too, especially like, you know, kind of having to be social distancing in a way, but like from your family and friends, you know, that are older and stuff like that. I feel that deep level right there, because, you know, my aunts, I really can't see them, and they make a big impact on me, so I really felt that.
Yeah.
But
just
during these times of pandemics, sorry.
No, you were still talking.
Alex, why don't you go?
Oh, you can speak. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I really apologize. I
So
was
like
getting
during these times of pandemic, you're perfectly fine. It's okay. Don't worry. But so like during these times of pandemics, how do you think Bridge Builders has made an impact on you, and how they can help during these times as well? Like different organizations, like.
So, one thing, the whole idea of Bridge Builders is to connect communities and be able to see through differences and biases we may have, you know, already even subconsciously preconceived of ourselves and others. And so I think it's especially important in times like this to be able to compare yourself to another community and another people group and, you know, objectively be able to look at what they're going through and not just what you're going through. So it kind of gives you not only a sense of belonging, but a sense of, you know, I have my own identity and I can still respect theirs, because in seeing what they're suffering through, we can be both more unified as a people group or as just a human society, you know? So I think it's really, the whole idea of bridge builders is really important right now, because it gives you that sense of not being alone in a really scary time, because you can understand all of the things going on around you and relate to different communities because you know what they're going through. So.
Yeah, I personally agree with that as well. Like, just not with the Dupree community alone, with other communities such as Eagle Butte, Timber Lake, it's any town or community on the reservation, like, we've all come together, made some like rulings, or put together ideas. We've just been all together on this. This is not like a one person job or like a one community job where like they have different ideas and we have our own ideas. Everyone's coming together as one in this difficult situation and making something good out of it and making sure everyone stays safe.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Sorry. God. It's really hard to try to argue with what everybody wants. Like, we're all in this whole thing for a common end. We all want this to end. We all want to keep our elders, our old people safe, and we want to keep ourselves safe. And in order to do that, we all have to stay home, you know? And in order to do all of that, we really have to work together and agree with one another, because we are trying to find this common means, this common end. So it's a really, unifying experience, even within communities, nations, you know?
I agree. I thank you all for sharing on that end. I believe that there is a big important of place within all of this as well. One of the things that I think we'll hear next week with Brian Jennings, who's going to talk to us, is about the importance of community and how we're seeing it more and more develop through these times of social distancing. So I believe that your guys' perspective on the importance of that community building within both your community but communities abroad. We look at the connection between St. Louis and Dupree, looking at the history of both of those communities plays into a factor about our current situation now and how each one of those communities interact and how the people within those communities are affected in different ways. Looking at the marginalized within St. Louis and the very segregated lines that sometimes exist within St. Louis as a city can even be referenced and compared to in other areas across the nation and across the globe. All areas that we need to keep in mind for people who are more vulnerable in this case of pandemic, and what we can do better as a community going forward. I wanted to get a little bit to hear your guys' experience on the exchange program. I think there's a lot of people out there that are interested to hear actually what happens on the exchange program. Can you guys tell us a little bit about perhaps a favorite memory from the exchange program last year?
I would say one of my favorite memories, it's really hard to pick one, honestly, just because being around so many amazing people doing so many cool things, you know, you have a lot of cool memories. But one thing that I really just deeply connected with was when we would go back to where we were staying. I'm sorry.
No, it's fair. It was fun for a little bit. We were
staying every night, and we would talk about our day and how, you know, going to whatever religious area we went to, or going to someone who was going to share with us their experience in whatever they went through or their community. We would just go back to where we were staying and just touch base and say, you know, how did this affect you? How did you feel about this? What about doing this changed your mind on anything, or did it change your mind? And that was really nice, like just being able to completely confide in and trust people around you that whatever you were going to say was going to be validated and heard. And, you know, other than that, just all of those things that we were experiencing were really eye-opening. And to be able to have your eyes opened around people who are encouraging you to have your eyes opened is a really powerful thing. So that was definitely one of my favorite parts, when we would kind of just share with each other.
In a similar sense, one of my favorite things from the exchange program, which is like really important, whenever we would like get together, or for instance, the one moment where we like had a debrief where we got to get together and kind of reveal more about ourselves, like, and kind of feel comfortable in a sense. So like where you can talk about this, like you were talking about this with yourself, like just reveal and make yourself feel comfortable. I think that alongside just being able to do this with the exchange members and like see from like a different point of view and like go and make a difference, I guess. It just changes, like it opens your eye, as Malory said.
And another thing these share nights really did was, because we were really opening up about ourselves and about what we were seeing and feeling as we did all of these, just eye-opening experiences, it really showed myself and a lot of the people I was around, like from my own community, from the St. Louis community, that we weren't so different. If we thought we were just, that little thing separated us, or we didn't feel the same way, or we weren't the same, it just really showed you that they feel those things too. They might be confused about those things too, and they want to learn just as much as you. And so it really created that sense of community in two communities that, probably wouldn't have ever touched had it not been for this entire exchange. So it created a bigger community.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for that, yeah.
Alex, do you have something you want to share?
I mean, both what Cliff and Mal touched on was, I had similar feelings in both those, but it was really my first time personally being around a group of individuals like that, with, adding in all different types of knowledge and stuff like that, and just different types of energy, and being a part of that togetherness was just something I never felt before, and it was just so great of a feeling. At first I was very nervous, and then like by the end I was just, I wanted more. I didn't want it to end, but
and to expand a little bit on, because I know sometimes from a viewer from the outside it might be hard to piece together, although this is a very genuine and real experience for our exchange team members, it's hard to communicate. It absolutely is. And so what we try and specialize in and try and do is cultural immersion. And so the experiences that they're talking about is trying to piece together a very large community in a week, which is always near impossible, especially for two communities that have very rich history and very rich culture, that can take a decade to experience and still be a part of. And it is ever changing and ever growing. We see that as being placemakers. We see these three on the screen as being future leaders and placemakers, and change makers within their own communities. And I applaud them for that, and I applaud you guys for being here and continuing to talk about it and engage in this work. And hopefully again next summer we can do the same thing. Anything that you all want to add before we close? That was sort of the last of our questions, but if there's something that you're passionate about or want to talk about, I want to give you that space.
Malory, I'll let you go first if you...
It's a hard thing just to summarize up everything that we really did, because just the fact that, we can't give our perspective firsthand to other people to show how amazing what we went through was. Like all the things that we experienced, it was just absolutely wonderful. And just a really, as Alex said, just a big realization of togetherness. And I just want to emphasize what an amazing program this is, just in changing people's minds, opening up people's eyes. And we know the world is full of biases, even if we don't realize it ourselves. I'm sure I have some kind of bias, or at least I did. And I'm sure Clifton has some kind of bias against people. And we might not even realize these things until we're faced with real individuals and real communities that are just like us, that we just haven't been exposed to before. And I think that's such a powerful thing, just to be able to tear those biases down immediately. It's obviously a process, sorry. Yeah, it's just a really powerful thing, and I want to emphasize that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
I like to say, alongside with what Alex said, just being able to just put yourself out there, taking a chance, because you may seem like a person that won't like be engaged in group activities or for say like something like this, but just taking a chance, even if like you're shy or like it's not really your thing, it does change you. I was like that going into the summer. Like I wasn't a person that was as sociable, and the summer I got involved with the Bridge Builders, I started to open up and I started to feel comfortable with some parts of my life I wasn't comfortable with. And at the end, it was just a way different view that I had to begin with, because in the beginning I was just waiting for this, like I was so nervous, I just did not want to feel this nervousness all throughout the thing, and by the end of it, like I was just wanting more, as Alex said, I felt comfortable and it really changed me. So it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you. Alex, anything you want to add?
Yeah, for people that don't know, if they like see us doing this, it means like saying it, because I feel like people don't know like what that means.
That's
so.
like,
Yeah. So that means like saying stuff like that, so nobody has to be interrupted and stuff. So
Yeah.
just people out there.
All right. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't think you all know, but this is like one of the first times we have seen Mal and Cliff since the summer, so it's very exciting to see you guys. And
so wonderful.
we're sad that
so happy.
we're sad we won't see you guys this summer, but we know we'll get a chance to see you soon.
We would rather the community stay healthy, and then
Yes.
we can come hug you later or something.
Yes. Yes. Thank you all for joining us on this episode of Bridgecast. Stay tuned with us. Stay engaged with us. Continue to share us and communicate. We always want conversation, so if there's ever a time where you want to interact with us or talk with us, we're always open for that. Send us a message, and we'll be happy to. Next week, we have Brian Jennings, who is a big teacher for myself, a mentor for myself, and a fantastic, well-read, well-spoken individual who's going to talk a little bit further about this idea of community and pandemic. He's one of our board members and one of the founding members of this organization, and I'm really excited for you guys to talk to him. But again, a big thank you to Cliff, Mal, and Alex.
Thank you guys, yeah.
And
Cliff and I would really happily answer any questions anyone has as well. So if you want to know anything else about it, we've done it. We hear about it. We know.
Absolutely.
So let us know.
Drop questions
Yeah.
and we will communicate. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you guys. We're going to tune off, and we'll see you guys again next week. Thank you.